people think that the French Revolution started with the establishment of the National Assembly. But in reality, it didn't. Due to the claim from one city in France, this revolution has apparently had an earlier origin, the insurrection of Grenoble, also known as the Day of Tiles. The Day of Tiles took place on July 7th, 1788, in the town of Grenoble. And just to clarify, some of the earliest rebellions were from the nobility as compared to later on where it was more peasant-based, and most revolts came from the Third Estate. The État Général was established to forestall any aristocratic revolts, and it basically just allowed for the hearing of grievances. The État Général eventually became the National Assembly, and that brings me to my point. The National Assembly finally established itself as a constituent on July 9th, 1789. The main purpose of it was to get France a constitutional government and to give the Third Estate as many votes as the other estates. The tennis court oath came next. It was basically a meeting in which the National Assembly vowed not to separate until a written constitution was established for France on a tennis court? Yeah, a tennis court. Then came the storming of Bastille on July 14, 1789. About 60,000 citizens of all forms and colors came into this one, the storming of the Bastille. Many people were armed with the muskets of the Bastille and invalids as far as they would go. The rest with pistols, swords, pikes, pruning hooks, guides, and lined all the streets through which the procession passed. They began firing at soldiers standing guard on the Bastille's towers. The capture of the Bastille symbolized the end of the ancient regime, which was an absolute monarchy, and it was joined by 4/5 of the French army, in which the revolutionaries seized control of Paris and then the French countryside, forcing King Louis XVI to accept a constitutional government. One of the National Assembly's achievements was its approval and passing of the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, which presented the central idea that all men are born and remain free and equal in right. The Declaration also explained a list of other rights, such as freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and separation of powers. While all this was happening, it inspired other forms of movement, particularly the Women's March on Versailles. This march included 7,000 working women that basically manipulated Louis and Marie Antoinette to become prisoners of the Third Estate until they executed them. The Bagarre de Nimes, basically the Battle of Nimes, was a battle between Catholics and Protestants in 1790. At least 300 people were slaughtered, most of them Catholics, due to the fact that the former ignored that the Constituent Assembly doesn't recognize the Catholic Church as state religion any longer. Later on, the Reign of Terror of 1793 came into play, which was just a series of executions, more executions, and even more executions. No wonder the French Revolution is considered so violent. Well, one of the main figures of the Reign of Terror was Robespierre. He was a bourgeoisie who led the movement, and he shifted his views towards the concept that,
in order to defend the revolution against those who would destroy it, the shedding of blood was justified.
Also, to clear up any misconceptions, basically everyone was getting killed. The First, Second, and even Third Estate. Did you catch all of that? If not, let me summarize it for you.